All right, let's get started. I'm sure folks will jump on as they are able to this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and share the agenda to the screen. Let's see this one. Oop, there it is. Great. So welcome everyone to the January meeting of the Foster Youth Council at PUSD. Our agenda is abbreviated today. I only have about an hour, but we should be able to hit all of our major bullet points. We'll start with introductions, and then any new issues of concern for caregivers, and then updates from our team at PUSD. Any committee updates, mostly those are announcements of our upcoming meetings, and then some announcements about upcoming events. So we'll start with introductions, and I'll stop screen sharing for that. I can let me drop the link to that agenda in the chat as well. One moment. Share, copy link. Okay. So hi, I'm Lily Bartenstein. I am the chair of the Foster Youth Council. I'm a licensed foster parent, and I'm also, since our last meeting, an adoptive parent. So I have a former foster youth in my home now, and he is in the 11th grade. And let's go around and have everyone else introduce themselves. Jennifer, do you want to start?
Sure. I'm Jennifer Hall Lee. I am on the PUSD school board as a trustee, and this is my first term as a trustee, and this is my first meeting on the Foster Youth Council, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Ms. Lydia?
Sorry, I had to unmute. I keep doing that. Congratulations, Lily, and congratulations, Jennifer. And I am Lydia Sinclair Templeton, the director of the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative. We've been serving the foster youth since 1993. And we are thrilled to be in Pasadena providing services that's funded by LACO and other foundations. We're at 8 school districts and 65 schools. And I'm just thrilled to be here, be in partnership with Foster Youth Council, Pasadena, the staff, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Sierra, you're also CYFC?
Yes, hi everyone. Nice to see everyone's faces and so glad to be a part of this team. I'm Sierra Jaswick, and I am the program director working under our CEO, Dr. Lydia, for CYFC, and I'm also a former foster youth.
Great, thank you. James?
I'm James Russell. I work in PUSD in the STARS program. So we oversee the academics and also group sessions for the youth in foster care. I'm working in middle school this year. So I'm at all the middle schools in the school district.
Great, thank you for being here. Jasmine?
Morning, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Good morning. My name is Jasmine Harris. I'm with the Community and Family Engagement Office here at PUSD. I work in collaboration with Nancy Molina, and it's actually my first Foster Youth Council meeting. Thank you for having me, and I just wanted to collaborate and see what I could learn and see what all we may be able to help people with.
Great,
So,
thank you.
thank you.
And then Jeff is here this morning. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, everybody. Jeff Albert with Collaborate Pasadena. It's been a while since I've been able to join the Foster Youth Council meeting, so it's last year we had conflicts in schedule, but really want to focus our efforts at Collaborate to making sure that we help build a more supportive environment for youth in foster care in our community.
Great, thank you. Okay, so our next, let me back to agenda land. That's not the one. Too many tabs. There it is. So we have done introductions. Yes, great. So new issues of concern to caregivers and advocates. So we don't have, I'm probably the only caregiver on our call today, but that's okay. I have a couple of questions, and I don't know if Brian is going to be here or if you can help me, James. So there was one that's a follow-up from a question I asked Brian last semester, which was one of the ways that I qualify to represent our youth in foster care is by holding ed rights. And so I wanted to volunteer as a surrogate ed rights holder, but I'm not sure where that process is. Do you know, or is that what's happening in terms of assigning surrogates and what I do to be on your list?
Yeah, to be able to be a surrogate ERH for a student.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let me make a note of that for you, and I will definitely bring it up. Is that something that you talked about with Brian Stanley before?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. He just hadn't gotten up to speed on sort of what our process was for making those assignments and then what requirements you have on from where do I send that offer?
Gotcha. Okay. Sure. Yeah, through the district. Okay,
I
awesome.
probably don't need the training because I've done so much foster mom training, but but
I
it's
got
good
you.
to have, yeah, it's good to know sort of what the process would be, because then that'll maintain my relationship with an active case, right? Because my student's case is closed because he's adopted.
Understood.
So that's
Okay.
something that is helpful for me. And then my other question for the PUSD team, I've heard and am curious about, I've heard about some inconsistency in implementation of AB 740, which is the notifications around the notifications to lawyers and the whole team around all of our disciplinary actions. And so I'm sort of wondering how we are ensuring that anytime we're doing a manifestation determination meeting, whether it's a meeting that's led by special ed or through the administration of our various school sites, how we're ensuring that all of those parties are being notified. So that was my other question.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good question. Actually, I just brought this up with our team a couple weeks ago because I also have noticed that administrators at some school sites definitely, we're working with them to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that they understand like this is the law
Mm-hmm.
and that they do need to notify all the parties properly when a student is facing certain disciplinary actions.
Mm-hmm.
I brought that up in our meeting. I'll definitely follow up for our next council meeting with Mr. Stanley to give you an update on it. But I asked him if we could please, this goes along with something else that our team really wants, which is like some additional trainings, especially
Mm-hmm.
for office staff in general.
Yeah.
We worked on that a little bit this year. Making sure that office staff are all seeing like flags in students' files, for example.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our youth in foster care will have flags that are really important, for example, to say like, please do not contact certain people or please be aware of other certain adults.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were working with that, one thing that we've asked for from the district is if they could make it part of, hopefully, a trainings that we can do. And that could be something also we can work on with AB 740. But so, I did actually bring this up about, I think in our meeting, maybe last month.
Mm-hmm.
But we are working on it. And I am definitely keeping track of all of the times that students face disciplinary issues so that I can bring it up to their administrators.
Great.
At this phase, kindly reminding them, hey, can you please make sure that you tell the district office? Definitely starting, so that we can work on
Yeah,
that.
because
Yeah.
that's the thing is like if school sites don't know how, like, I don't know if all of our school sites are using the educational passport system to find caseworkers and attorneys and all of those people who rotate around on our kids' teams. I don't know if they even are realizing that they exist sometimes. So, so I think it's helpful for us to have that sort of line of communication as well. Awesome. Do you know, any of our POSD team, do you know if there's been any movement on getting those contacts identifiable through ARIES, or is it still agency representative for social workers and
Yes,
CASAs and
for the contacts, you mean in areas like specifically identifying what the role is, or?
yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, instead of it just saying like agency representative, let
Mhm.
me check on that for you, because we did just have a meeting with our our IT department as well.
Great.
We're working on, I'm sure that they brought this up before, but we're working on more specific codes for
Mhm.
areas, right? So
Mhm.
that we can differentiate exactly what a youth and foster care status is.
Mhm.
That's been a big thing we really wanted since last year. And
Yeah.
it's kind of slow going, trying to for them to figure out how they can implement it with their data plan. But
Mhm.
let me also mention the fields for agency representative.
Yeah, just because it's as a foster parent, when I'm doing like data
Uh-huh.
confirmation, I might not realize that the school cares who my kid's attorney is, but they would need it to notify them. And I don't know if that I would know to input social workers or update social workers regularly, even though they're all changing all the time. So I think it may help if you can see those contact options in that drop
Oh,
down.
I see. I apologize. So you're saying that for the parent portal, like you want to be able to just
On
like,
the Aries, I mean, it's
gotcha.
Aries, right? But
Yeah, yeah,
I can identify myself as foster mom and like I could put my kid's babysitter in, but I can't put their their DCFS caseworker as who this person is that needs to be contacted,
gotcha.
or
Okay, great.
their children's law attorney is
Okay, yeah,
not a thing I can call that person. And so then it's hard for me to identify, like as I'm doing it, it's hard for me to identify
yeah.
who those people are.
Okay.
But I think it's helpful to have it in Aries
Oh yeah, absolutely.
so that then everyone can can call
Just
the right people.
yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
I will check and see if those fields can be added from the
Mhm.
parent. Yeah, the parent portal is just the version of Aries that you see.
Yeah.
So I'll ask them if they can. There's a modification for that if that's easy.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other issues of concern? Hi, Vanessa. Did you have any issues of concern for this morning? Okay. I think if we want to come back and do a couple of quick introductions, we do have a few more of our friends on the call. So, John, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Morning, I'm John Cabrera. I'm the foster youth counselor, Pasadena Unified School District, and I'm just listening in. And it's about my third month in the program, and I'm just listening in and trying to learn and assist
Awesome.
our foster youth in our high schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Vanessa, just an introduction.
Good morning, everybody. I apologize for the delay. I have licensing here. Vanessa Perez, I am the school liaison for one of the SGRTPs.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Angela?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, you're a little quiet. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry.
Great.
So my name is Angela Mendoza. I'm a part of the PUSD STARS program here. I offer support for the high school students. Yeah, I've also just joined the team in October. So glad to be here. Glad to meet you all. And please reach out if you have any questions.
Great.
I work alongside John and James.
Awesome. And then Ruth Ann. Oh, you're muted. There you
Hi,
are.
good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Hope
Year. Thanks for
everybody has
being here.
continued to be healthy. Ruth Ann All, volunteer for foster youth before COVID, and now trying to establish what I want to be after my retirement and in between trips.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
And then hi, Francesca. You want to do a quick introduction? We're circling back because some new friends have joined us.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Francesca Ocasio. My pronouns are they, she. I'm the foster youth programs manager at Planned Parenthood Pasadena San Gabriel Valley.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. And let's go back to our agenda. I think we're just going to ask for some quick updates next. We did this. We did this. So I have, updates from PUSD. So I don't know if any of you want we've made James talk a lot. But if you want to give us any sort of general updates about how things are going in our youth and foster care team, or if anyone else has an update from there.
Sure, yeah.
Corner.
So we have added Mr. Cabrera, who's working with the high school students, specifically in academics. And then we also have Miss Mendoza on the team now, and she's done amazing. She has worked on some new, I'll let her talk more about it, but she's worked on some really great partnerships. She's been able to help us expand our presence on campuses and work on expanding our services at Marshall for one.
Awesome.
So she's also helped us do a really great winter holiday event for the kids. I did one for middle school, and then she did one for the high schoolers, and was also able to lobby the schools to donate some merchandise, sweaters, food, things like that. So she's done an amazing job of reaching out to the partners that are at the high schools and finding them and tapping into the resources that can go to the kids. So that's been a huge get for the team. Bringing her in has helped me, and with John, that's helped me to just concentrate on middle school. So that's been a great development for us. We're running like with more team members now, but I'll let her talk more about that.
Great.
Thank you, James. Happy to be here. I'm again trying my best to work with what we got and also expand. So I go to all the high schools, Rose City, PHS, John Muir High School, Blair, and Marshall. So Marshall, I think I kind of have a lead. It's been a little difficult with getting a classroom. I'm very blessed to have a classroom here at PHS. And at all the other classrooms, it's like a shared room. But Marshall's been like the one that's kind of, we don't have a designated room and we want to. So that way when me and James, even John, when we go to school, we have like a designated spot and the students know where to go. My goal is to have one day, 5 days of the week that I'm there, one day dedicated to a school.
Great.
And specifically have the door open during lunch and after school. So it's kind of been a little difficult navigating with different schedules, and then also I was new. And so I have a new updated schedule. I'm at John Muir every Monday. Tuesday, right now, I'm at PHS. Wednesday, I'm at PHS in the morning. And then around lunchtime, I go to to Marshall. Again, hoping to get that to dedicate a whole day to Marshall. Wednesday, Wednesday I went over. Thursday, I'm at Blair, and Friday, I'm at Rose City. So those are like the days I try to dedicate to students and to each school. It's been like the holiday, I try to throw together a little celebration, a little gathering, Christmas gathering. And I know holidays could be a little difficult for many, maybe different emotions. But for the most part, thanks to my team, we were able to put together, bring the kids in. We got a little like goodie bag for them with like a gift card for Starbucks, some candy.
Yes,
some of our
I was
advocates
re-gifted that Starbucks card. So
good. I'm glad.
It's a win for me.
I'm glad. So little things like that, just to kind of, and I'm hoping to kind of build more partnerships. So if anybody has any connections, not just for the high school side, but middle school and elementary, we're trying to get like more incentives for the kids, more like little kind of bonuses of like, hey, I understand maybe you're struggling to get to school or maybe struggling to stay in class. But any little thing could kind of go a long way of like an incentive to get them like motivated to go to school. And even like for like their birthday, we'd love to like give them like a little something. So us as a team, we've like asked like family to kind of help out. But if there's any resources here in PUSD that anybody knows of, that would be great. Please send them our way.
Okay. Yeah, Jennifer. Got a question.
Okay, incentives. So Angela, like give me an example. Of what
Anything
you
and
would do.
everything. Like coupons, gift cards, even like so we have like a whole, if you donate to the Pasadena Educational Foundation for foster youth, any like funds, we could use them towards like buying gift cards or during Christmas, getting them like a fund for their birthday or for Christmas time to like decorations and, you know, party supplies or this and that, like any little thing. We're trying to do like more trips. So any like additional funds, incentives, anything could go a long way, even like a really cute hand knitted
Right.
gloves or a
So,
scarf.
right. So I could go like to a store.
Uh-oh.
We lost her.
Oh, no.
We're on to something.
I'm sure we'll get her back in a
Yep.
sec.
Well,
Do you know more details, James, on the PEF? I didn't want
Yeah.
to butcher it.
No, not at all. Yeah, if sometimes PEF is able to offer us some funds, if we could work out a way that we were able to do incentives with students, that's something we'd really like to do, especially because I've been doing a lot of research, in fact, into incentive plans and how they have and haven't worked in other places to kind of understand what the best approaches are. But I'd really like to start something small, at least to begin piloting for students, because for our students, because they've experienced so much struggle in their life, it's very hard for them to feel motivated. And we do have a lot of students that absolutely try and they want to try, but I think that having a little bit of that extra showing of the care and a reward to say like, look, your efforts mattered, and to promote engagement, I think that could be really huge for them. So that's something we'd love to work on. I authored a grant proposal earlier in the year. We wanted to try and get a grant so that we could start some incentives with students. Unfortunately, didn't get it this time. We had a record number of applicants for the grant, so there was a lot of good competition for it. But it gave us a good framework to start working on, so that hopefully in the future we might be able to bring that in. But in the meantime, if we can partner with community resources to work on that, I think it'd be amazing for our students for sure. So that's something just to put out there.
To bounce off that idea, I before Christmas, I tried to like go around by the district office on Lake. So like sometimes it's just like right there, like our communities are like right across the street. So I put together, it's not the greatest, but I put together like this flyer that's like now accepting donations, anything big, small, one time, monthly, or once a semester, open for the school year to help our youth and foster kids students across PUSD. Our goal is to provide support academically and individually, build community, share ideas about college and college options, and create a safe space. How you could help: any donations go a long way in giving these students the appreciation they deserve. Possible donations: food treats, gift cards, vouchers, free gear and attire, monetary. And then PUSD, the Pasadena Educational Fund, has their own like tax ID because they're like their own nonprofit. So I included the tax ID number as well. So like kind of like any help in supporting, whether it's you or asking to advocate for others to like support, kind of like sort of like, when they supporting a local business or supporting your local schools to like help to donate, so that way we could get them to the kids and kind of help them, and whether it be just because gift or for their birthday or for the holidays or whatever it is that we're trying to plan for them.
And has that, I haven't seen it through any of the family and community engagement information stuff that's gone out. So maybe that can be shared with our broader community, I think would be great. Cause I know I saw the winter toy drive for families in transition, and I took some stuff over for them. So
Yes, please. We would love to help get that word out and kind of amp up those donations. Please get that over to us, and then be sure to share it on social media around wherever possible.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. I'll get that to you, Lily, and then I'll share it with the broader.
And I don't know if y'all have tried Trader Joe's. Typically, like you've tried Trader Joe's already, so that's a pretty easy one. There's also Rosebud Coffee. I don't know if you've heard of it. They hire a lot of like former youth in foster care. So that might be a place to
That
reach
would
out
be a
to.
great partnership to
Oh
build.
yeah. Actually, I think I know one of their managers. He used to work for a business that I know. I did not know they did that, but that's awesome. All right.
Yeah.
That's great.
That'd
Maybe
be
we
a
can.
I
great
think,
Um,
sorry,
for
Francesca,
local.
is that the coffee with the cause?
Yeah, yeah, it's that one. I also have heard that Tender Greens hires a lot of former youth in foster care as well.
Awesome.
So actually about the Rosebud Coffee, that's Coffee with the Cause. So their application just closed, but a couple of my students who I encouraged had interviews and another student heard. So if you have anybody, they're doing one more week. If anybody still wants to apply, encourage them, encourage them. I believe it's retail in like the food business, construction, and like there's other opportunities as well. So if you know anybody who wants to sign up, that'd
Yeah,
be great.
awesome.
So thank you,
Thank
Francesca.
you.
You reminded me, Coffee with the Cause.
Yes, great. Cool. Our next agenda item was an update from special ed, but they are not able to join us today. So we can circle back unless anyone else had any special education updates. Um, I know, Ruthann, they're all, yeah. They're all not in the office today. And then let's get an update from our team at CYFC.
Awesome. Thank you, Madam Chair. We are thrilled to have begun working in the high schools of Pasadena PHS, John Muir, and Rose City. We've been working closely with Brian Stanley and the teams in the schools and the teams that we've been meeting with weekly prior to the holiday. We're meeting with some of the foster youth teams just to talk about the students that we're serving. We had the holiday festival for youth and foster care for youth throughout the county. We had about 800 and each of the youth received 5 to 7 gifts each. And we had everything's brand new. So you got the youngers got scooters and all kind of bikes. We had everything. The older students received luggage, brand new clothes, tons of gifts. And so we do have, it was just really exciting to see people from all around LA County, those of our youth in Pasadena who couldn't come, we brought the gifts to them. And we do believe in making sure the youth that we serve receive the gifts because transportation, as we all know, is a huge issue. And so this was our 24th year of doing this project, and LAPD, the fire department, DCFS, and we have over 30 partners, and it's funded by individual donors as well as private donors. So it was really a great event, and all of the youth in Pasadena were invited. We are serving only in the high schools because we're funded by LACO, and we primarily focus on academics and the support for the students who are in foster care. We also have emergency funds when something comes up and the students have some kind of emergency. And Angela and Stars and any foster youth, we can definitely help. I have an anonymous donor that we can go to. It's important that it's a foster youth and it's an emergency. It's something that we can also assist with. And we also can assist with the birthday incentives. We do that with our youth. So we can partner there and serve. I know for high school, we have the incentive program. And then if you are serving at the middle schools, it would have to be a different fund. We can, there are a couple places I can go to get some funding for, but if you'd like to meet to talk about an incentive plan, James and Angela, and we could sit down and put our heads together so that way we just are all both able to use the gifts, whatever we get together, to make sure they go to and for the youth. The key is making sure our youth know that they're loved, cared for, and that their days are special, and that their achievements in school are special. Just like our parents did for us. So we can definitely, and what we have, we are more than willing to share. We also are assisting our students with our city college. We have a couple students that noteworthy who just didn't want to go to college at all, to 12th graders, and they're in the process of completing the application for PCC. And so we're excited about both of them. And that's what we want to continue to support our youth, and also preparing post secondary, because as you know, less than 2% of foster youth graduate from college. So that is a crisis. That's a tragedy. And so as we focus on that with other like Cal States, and we're working with LA Trade Tech and other city colleges that we're working with to make sure our foster youth not only go to a college, but that they complete college. And so we've been excited this year. We are up and running, and just seamlessly running in the 3 schools that we're in, and just thank everyone in Pasadena for welcoming us with open arms, and we're here to be a resource as well as a partner.
Amazing. Thank you. We're glad to have you. Let's move to committee updates. I am the one who goes to the committees. So we did not have, there are 2 committees that I'll do updates from. And then I'll also maybe touch on another thing. Let me make a note to myself. So one is the Roadmap Advisory Council, and that is the district-wide committee about the implementation of our strategic plan. I am only intermittently able to attend those meetings. They're during the day, so they frequently conflict with work, but the next one will be on Thursday at 9 a.m. So I will be going to that meeting. We did not meet in December. So I think our last meeting was centered around teachers and staff. We're going through our strategic pillars, meeting by meeting. And I'm not sure, I don't recall what our next meeting agenda will be for that Roadmap Advisory Council. But I'll be going to that on Thursday morning. And then the other committee that I wanted to give an update on is the LCAP PAC. And our next LCAP PAC meeting will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I am also on some subcommittees with the LCAP PAC, as we are in the beginning of a new LCAP cycle. There's a little bit of shifting. We're trying to make sure our LCAP aligns with our strategic plan. And there are, we just got data over the holidays to give us a dashboard update that we'll be reviewing this week. And then we'll also look at, I don't know if the new template has come out yet, but once it does, that'll be sort of our next step in the LCAP development process. So I will be attending that. We also have a LCAP metrics subcommittee. And there are a few things that I mentioned in terms of suggested metrics for our youth and foster care in our last year's recommendations that I'll probably be bringing as recommendations again to the LCAP PAC and to the district through the LCAP PAC. So one of them was, I'll just review those real quick because that was my make a note to myself. One of them is for our foster youth, a lot of our academic measurements are really broad. They're things like graduation, high school graduation rate, or completion of a CTE pathway, right? And our foster youth instability rate is very, very high in our district. So we have like a 60% instability rate, I think. I haven't looked at the most recent dashboard yet. So that could have changed, but probably not by a lot. And so that means those are students who are with us for less than an entire school year. So one of the ways of measuring academic progress that I think is really helpful that I'm going to suggest is to look at, for our youth and foster care in particular, credits earned out of possible credits, as opposed to these sort of longer term completion of high school or whatever goals, so that we can see, even if they came to us credit deficient, are they making the right progress while they're with us? So that was one. Another one that I know you guys have been working on in our youth and foster care team this year in particular, is enrollment time. So how long between a student arriving at the district to when they're enrolled in a school. And that's something that would be applicable across goal 6, because that right to immediate enrollment is not just our foster youth, it's also our youth experiencing homelessness and migrant youth. So that trying to get that enrollment time under the county's recommended 3 days, when immediate enrollment is obviously preferred, I think is important and something that I know we're working on. So I would love to see sort of how that progress is going. And then did I have another one? I have so many metrics. The other one was I was curious sort of with our particular youth and foster care subgroup, what percentage of our students are served in our comprehensive schools as opposed to a separate setting? Because I know our special education department is making a real push towards inclusion, but I don't know how effective that is, because I've also heard that some of our students with IEPs are not being placed in programs for long periods of time because we don't have a program to serve them, or they're waiting for a non-public school to accept them. So I just want to make sure we're looking at that and sort of understanding how our programs are actually serving the kids that are part of our group. So those were a couple of things that I'm going to bring forward with the LCAP hack the next time it comes around. The other one that I wanted to highlight was something that I actually did hear from Dr. Jacobs at the Black Student and Family Task Force meeting. I think that's what they're called. I don't remember their names. There's so many names, so many acronyms. But at their last town hall, one of the issues of concern that they were looking at was the disproportionality that special education has been flagged for African American students with the eligibility of emotionally disturbed. And that is highly correlated with our youth and foster care. I think that of the, let me see if I can pull up, it's in my notes app, the statistic that was shared. Lily, so many meetings ago. Yeah, of the 38 African American students who have been identified as emotionally disturbed, 17 are youth and foster care. And so that is, I think, a factor in our disproportionality, right? Because we know that African American students are overrepresented in foster care in general. And then in our group of foster students, a lot of them may be in Pasadena because of placement in an STRTP. And so they would that home placement, that living arrangement placement requires that they have those exceptional emotional or behavioral needs. So that correlation kind of all tracks through in that way. But that was something that I know came up in that meeting as well, that part of that disproportionality may be our support for our youth and foster care. So it's just something for us to keep in mind as we look forward and continue to sort of see how things are shaping up in our SELPA plan. I've not had a chance to go to CAC or DLAC meetings because I have a lot of things. So I'm hopeful that I'll be able to at least get to 1 or 2 of those if I can. Yes, Ruth Ann?
Yeah, I wanted to share the CAC end of the year report was shared at the last board meeting in December, I believe it was, whatever that last board meeting was. And it was quite lengthy, very well expressed. You know, I I sat and listened to it. You can just start at that, type
Yeah.
in because it's a K-Learn thing. But, I just, it's 20 years that I was there and now 5 years retired. And to hear the same issues regurgitated all these years later, it's like hard. And, our kids, our new kids over the series of life, the journey of life, but it's so hard that management is not working, administrative management is not working in a more positive. It's not rocket science, folks. It's people. It's faces, it's pulses, it's heartbeats. And it's just very sad to me. So I'm happy I didn't have to sit through the meeting. I could just fast forward through the conflicts and tension, and but that is an access if you have the opportunity. So hopefully, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I did watch that. I know that and then the CAC members who were at the Black Student and Family Task Force meeting, they were also, I think, one of the biggest issues of concern that they are working on is the transition services and supports around our kids who are exiting special education into life. And so I think that making sure we're connecting our kids as they exit foster care to all of those resources, both within the system and then also things like the Department of Rehab, that can provide that sort of lifelong support if that's something that they need, is helpful. And getting those transition plans into our IEPs, OMG, would be so great. So, so hopefully coming soon, because it is a big piece. It's certainly a big worry of mine with an 11th grader, is making sure that he continues to have the support he needs as he exits high school and becomes a grown person. Great. I think that is all on our regular agenda. Let me pull it up though to make sure I'm not forgetting things that are important. Yeah, we're at announcements. So one of the things that I wanted to announce is, as we've discussed before, Teresa Reed is retiring from Pasadena City College. She has a big retirement event coming up next week, I think. And then the last event that she's been working on is a Pasadena City College and LACO Dreams to Degrees conference that'll be on January 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I think Ide sent out to all of the caregivers the information about that conference. So that's a great opportunity for students to be on the PCC campus and meet people and learn about college and all of that kind of stuff. I can drop the link to that registration form. I don't know if it's by today that there was an incentive for students who register to go early. There's also parent training, foster parent trainings. So foster parents are required to do a 2 course sequence about college readiness. So there's the Dreams to Degrees Part 1, which is for our 6th through 10th graders, and then Dreams to Degrees Part 2, which is for 11th and 12th graders. And so I think one or both of those trainings will also be available as part of that PCC LACO conference. So that's an in-person event in the morning on Saturday the 27th. Our next meeting of the Foster Youth Council will be next February 13th. It'll also be a virtual meeting, and it'll be back at the usual time of 11:30. So I will hopefully not be quite as buried as I was this time and be able to send out the information about that a little bit earlier. Angela.
Sorry, I'd have a quick thing to add. I'm on helping Teresa out with the Dreams to Degrees conference. We're in need of it's on the 27th. I'm gonna send out in addition to the link. If anybody wants to volunteer, she's in need of volunteers. She's trying to plan like this whole perfect. I see your hand up, Ruth Ann. volunteers to help out. It's on a Saturday and there's different shifts. So there's like from like serving food to helping out with like a financial aid aspect. Kind of like sort of like it's gonna be like sort of like a hype, like to get kids hyped up for college. So there's gonna be everything from like workshops to teach them. And then there's even like during lunch gonna be like a pep rally with like the band and the drill team.
Awesome.
While like a fashion show comes out with like school gear, say from like House de Relay or so yeah, so she needs a lot of extra hands. We need extra hands. So if anybody's available, I'm gonna send the link as well.
Okay,
the group.
great. Thank you. That would be excellent to share. Let me make a note. Cool. Any other? Yeah, James.
Oh yeah, really quick, just before we exit, you were mentioning the DOR, the Department of Rehabilitation. I forgot to mention in the beginning of this year, we did make a point to coordinate with them and start making it just a regular thing that they would be able to offer students services.
Great.
So we did, we set up some meetings with them, and they were able to come in the beginning of the year and give presentations. Angela and I went around and rounded up the kids and introduced them to their reps and made sure that they got the presentation and a flyer on the availability. So
cool. Can that be shared with caregivers?
Absolutely.
Because my child may have received that and it probably got eaten by a backpack.
Yeah, he was there.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
And Francesca.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a reminder that we're still doing virtual sex ed for youth in foster care who need to complete their SB 89 requirements. So that's like a full 11 hours of sex ed. We're also partnering with the STARS program to do some in-person sessions as well.
Awesome.
But yeah, if you want that extra in-depth stuff for your kids, we have that and I'll put that in the chat.
And they get bonuses, right? You guys have like money.
Yeah, they get money, so that's
They
very
get paid.
exciting. And then we also do staff training, particularly we're coming into train some teachers this week at PUSD, but we also work with STRTP staff. So if anyone's interested in that kind of training for their staff, you can reach out.
Awesome. Thanks, Francesca.
Francesca, really quick, sorry. I just couldn't remember. Are those online sessions for the kids? There's 2 of them, right? But one of them isn't during our spring break this year, right?
Right. Yeah. We had to significantly lower the amount of series that we were doing from like 15 to 4. And so, yeah, they might not fall during your spring break, unfortunately, but there's other ones scheduled outside of that happen after school time.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. That's great.
Great. Any other announcements from community partners or public comment? We've arrived at the end.
I don't know if it's applicable to anyone here, but I did just want to share an opportunity here at the district or the district office and the education center. There's an iReady workshop for parents. I don't know if anyone with this information be applicable to, but I have heard that there's some information that they're just giving out and kind of going over the platform. If any parents did need help understanding it or understanding their family report, I can drop that flyer to the chat, and if anyone needed that, yeah, just wanted to share that.
I have a question just because you brought up iReady. How, like, I know my son does iReady at the high school level, but I have no idea how he's doing or how I would receive his report. Do you know more about that, or is it primarily for our younger kiddos?
I think, let me pull up the flyer. I believe this conversation is specifically for K-8.
Okay.
And I am still new to the office and to understanding the iReady, diagnostics program. But I think if I can express that there is a desire for the high schoolers to also get
Well, I just don't know. I don't know if it's being used across all of our high school students or if it's really for our special ed. Like my kid is in special ed, he's in special day class. So I just don't know. I know that occasionally if I go to back to school night, a teacher will print one out for me and I can see sort of how he's reading at the 4th grade level. But I'm curious sort of what access parents have to that kind of detailed information about their kids in general. And I'm sure it varies depending on teachers and schools and all of that kind of stuff. But I was just kind of curious if there's a parent facing something that I've missed.
I don't believe you missed it. I think they're still establishing,
Great.
kind of giving people more the information because it is still something new. But from what I know, it is district across district wide, and I believe it is used in the other high schools. However, I would have to get detail on that, and I would love to get that back for you.
Cool. Thanks. And I'll look at when that workshop is and see if it's something I can add to my list of the many things. Anything else? All right. In that case, I will adjourn us at 11:53. Thank you.
Have a good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for putting this together, Lily.
Yeah. Save all of the links so they don't go away.
I just want to say bye. Bye. I couldn't unmute.
Thank
Okay,
you. Thanks for being here,
care.
Lydia.
Okay,
No
yeah.
worries.
Look forward to
Bye.
working with you, Angela. Okay.
Thank you, Lydia. I look forward to it as well.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Let me see how I get out of here. Angela, do you know since you stayed?
Sorry, I'm trying
It's
to
okay.
reply back to Ruth sent me a message.
Oh, okay. What was her?
She wants to volunteer. So I'm like, hey.
Yes, I can also forward her information to you if that's helpful because who knows if she'll find the Google form or not.
Yeah. Well, actually, she just told me right now. She was like, I could assist in the morning. I was like, here's a link. And she was like, I don't like setting up, just showing up. So I was like, perfect. We like that
Fine.
too.
We will expect you then, Ruth
Yes.
Ann.
So I just have to
I need to change my kiddo's name. Do you know who
Sure.
I go to do that? Is that the registrar's office at PHS?
That would be the registrars. I believe her name is Rosa Macias.
Okay, great. And I'll just have to send his adoption finalization, whatever paperwork.
Yeah, all that would go directly to her.
Okay, awesome.
And yeah. Any other questions? Now that I'm here.
Well, he doesn't want to, he wants to keep getting the stuff, but he's technically no longer an open case. So
no worries. So that's something that I've worked with Mrs. Stanley about. That like it's kind of like at your own discretion, like because I think like over the years, and I'm still new, over the years it's gone to just open cases. But
yeah,
I'm still keeping that door open because I have two, including Chris, who are closed. So I'm like, hey, if you guys, and that's where like the Christmas thing was like a perfect, where like I'll call them and if at their own discretion if they want to come.
Yeah.
So it depends on him. If he feels comfortable and he wants to come, then he's more than welcome. But I won't like, and just like any kid too, like I won't force them. I'm like, no, you have to come.
Yeah, that doesn't tend to go well.
No, but I think though he kind of like associates me with free snacks, free goodies. So hopefully he'll remember.
He will claim he's on a diet, but it's kind of bullshit. So depending on the snack.
Got it. I'll keep that in mind. But did he get a sweater? Because I have a couple of extra sweaters and I wasn't sure if he got one.
I don't know. But I also don't know that he would wear it unless it's a navy blue or black Pro Club hoodie. And he's also decided now that it's fucking cold that he's not gonna wear those either.
Really? So what is he wearing? Just a regular
He's wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants.
Oh my God.
That's his current uniform. And we get in the car and he's like, he put on the heater. And I'm like, could you put on a sweater?
A sweater? That's so funny. I know he's mentioned to me about like, oh, that he doesn't feel like maybe like comfortable in certain classes. He's like, can I come here? And like, and I said, yeah, no worries. I even told him to after school. But remind me, he said that like, I guess he takes a bus after?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I wasn't sure, where I was like, let
Yeah.
me like confirm, because I was like, I want to keep a day
He's gonna
open.
take the bus home most days.
Got it.
And I mean, I randomly pick him up depending on my schedule, but I'm working in Northridge, so it's fucking far. So for me to
Got
pick him
it.
up from school, I would have to leave here at like 2:30, and that's a
No,
hard
no worries.
sell.
I went to school over there.
Um,
I know how
yeah.
far it is.
It's a little bit far. But we also did swap his schedule around. So now he will no longer be ditching sixth, which is beautiful because
That was the class he told
my
me.
nightmare all last semester was that he
Yeah.
was ditching sixth all the time because he didn't want to go. But he's in stage tech now, which is hilariously what I teach. And he loves it. So
Perfect. That works out.
so
So
he's
that's what you teacher there at CSUN.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a scenic lighting and video designer. So I'm
Okay.
in a tenure track scenic design position now at CSUN.
Perfect. That's still
Yeah.
my curb all the way.
That's right.
I was communication studies.
Oh, awesome.
So Manzanita Hall was my go-to
Great.
spot.
Yeah,
Always
I'm
there.
in Nordhoff right now.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
so funny. Yeah, I'm trying to work right now with it's still in the works. We're trying to work with the EOP Resilient Scholars
Mm-hmm.
to try to like partner up. So hopefully I'm trying to get them to go to the PCC event.
Yeah.
But if not, I was like, donate some free gear. Donate
At
some
least
free gear so
send
that way we
stuff,
can like
Lily can bring it. I can walk
Yeah.
down the hallway,
I'm like,
whatever.
yeah, you don't even have to bring it. Yeah,
Right?
let me, I'll mention that. I'm gonna put your name
Sure.
out there, Lily.
That's totally fine.
I'm like, if you guys can't make it, just
As
bring it
long
to
as the
Lily.
email happens this week, because next week I'm on strike. So
Oh. Is it really next week?
First week of school, all faculty and the Teamsters, system wide, the whole CSU.
Wow.
22nd to the 26th, the whole CSU, all of the faculty at 23 campuses are striking.
Oh, wow.
I will
So,
not be
okay, so
responding
no,
to
no,
work.
no worries. That makes sense. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, will they even come? Because it's the 27th. They're probably like, no, we're on strike the whole week.
Well, they may be staff though. If they're not faculty, staff is still working.
Okay.
So it's a tricky thing.
It's
So
just
if it's
it's
not
just faculty.
you may be okay. Or a Teamster, but I don't think they're Teamsters.
Got it,
I
huh?
don't think they're driving
That's
trucks.
I'm so glad you told me. That's actually really important to know.
But good to know that.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
So
I
staff
really
should have plenty
appreciate
of time because the faculty are not going to be, we're just be walking around outside, holding some
Yeah,
signs, doing our
pretty
thing,
much. Encourage them to come.
right? Yeah,
Thank you, Lily. If
of
there's any way
course.
I could support Chris, I've at least I'm so glad that before his case closed, I kind of developed a little rapport with
Yes.
him. So at any point, if he wants to come, I'm still developing. So I want to say, if Marshall gets back to me right now, I will be going on Tuesdays. So I'm only going to be here Wednesdays.
Okay.
But if he ever needs like to come to the classroom or anything, please feel free to like on your end. He knows, but on your end, if there's, hey, Miss Mendoza's over there,
Well,
and he knows.
And that was my thing. I had that conversation in his IEP meeting too, because if there's a pep rally, he's gonna ditch. And I would rather he go someplace he's allowed to be.
Yeah.
So
You
I
could
had that
totally get a pass
conversation
here.
with this
Yeah.
whole team where I was like, he's gonna ditch. He ditched the whole last day of finals.
Oh, wow.
Both of them, both periods.
Both periods.
And
Oh,
I dropped him off at school. He spent the day apparently hanging out in the baseball field, because he doesn't lie to me. He tells me what he did. And then he got on the bus and came home.
wow. No, I'm so sorry. Yeah, if I'm here,
Like,
the only
bro.
time was like, yeah. Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, so he'll figure it
But
out.
at least he's honest. At least he's honest.
He
That's
is.
that's a nice thing.
Yes, he's not gonna bullshit me. He's gonna tell me that why he ditched. He's like, you understand why? And I'm like, I do, but that doesn't make it okay.
Oh,
But
well,
you're
at
still
least,
gonna
yeah,
have me asking you every time the robot calls me to say
yeah.
he wasn't in
Well,
class.
yeah, well, again, encourage him to come to me if
Okay.
he ever needs
Yeah.
a nice space. Even just try it, because sometimes I like this is like my home base.
Yeah.
But at any point, like just like this morning, I'm supposed to be at PHS, but there was a new student that went to John Muir, so I
Yep.
went in the morning on over there. So even if I'm not here right now, I'll be here like within the hour, or I could be here because sometimes it's slow at another school.
Yeah.
And if I know a student needs me, I always tell them like, reach out to me, and then I could.
Yeah.
But they don't go on their email. They don't check
They
their
don't use
email.
their email. They don't
They
do
don't.
that is one I took that up with the family engagement office, because they were talking about like, you know, whatever the things are in terms of communication. And I was like, when my child's Chromebook got fixed and the only way anyone was notified was an email to my kid, he still just had no Chromebook for like
Yeah.
weeks. Because the only way I can find out if that email has happened is if I hack into his email account, which I don't do regularly.
Yeah. But that's the thing, that they
They
don't
don't
look
use
at
it.
it.
They
Yeah.
don't use
They're
it.
like, oh, I don't even know my password. I'm like, oh. I'm like, I've been sending you emails or telling you like reach out to me, and it's just kind of like, what other, and sure, if you want to do a personal cell, but like we'll do it professionally first
Right.
in the email. So that's why I
Yeah.
try to encourage them of like, reach out to me anytime. But I think it's just the whole barrier of, I mean, they're still in high school, so they'll
Yeah.
learn that like email is like really important. Checking the
Right.
daily.
Well, and I can also imagine if they're moving schools a lot, the school level email is something that's changing constantly for them anyway, that they just don't care about.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, bro, okay, fine. I'm
You're
gonna email your case carrier then. I'm gonna email
yeah,
your project account.
on your behalf.
That's right.
Well, at least you're really good. You're
Yeah.
really on it, Lily. So you're doing a really amazing job.
He'll be okay.
He's lucky to have you.
But yeah, no, we gotta get me ed rights for somebody else so I can annoy them too.
I'll send them your way.
I know, I'm ready. Let's go. I'll annoy them. I'll annoy special ed. It'll be great.
Are you really open to
Yeah.
more? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make sure. I'm like,
'Cause
duly noted.
because I don't have space in my home to take another kid.
Got it.
But in order to be the representative like for the LCAP, they've expanded it to include anybody who's holding ed rights for an open case in terms of the state guidance. But as now I don't have an open case in my house, it would be great for me to have that sort of to underline why I am the person to do all of this annoying parent leadering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I'll make sure to send them your way, because sometimes we struggle. We're like, what do we? So now I know.
Yeah.
And especially because you have experience.
And I can also help sort of put the word out about that, like amongst other parent leader groups, and not just this, not just this group, because I think that can be helpful to, like, I think that there may be people who are on the CAC who would be interested if they knew it was a thing that was needed. So that was my little circle back too. But yeah, give me some kids. I'll be annoying. Love me an IEP. Let's go.
Perfect. Thank you, Lily. I'm so glad
Yeah.
I stood after. If you could send me Ruth Ann's thing,
Yes.
email or her contacts, that would
I
be
will.
great. But I'm so
Absolutely.
glad that
Yep.
she was the reason why I got delayed,
Yes.
and now we got to
No
talk a little
problem.
more.
All right. Thanks,
Lily.
Angela.
In case I don't talk with you, good luck with the strike. I wish you all
Oh,
the
yeah.
best of luck.
I mean, nothing's gonna happen because our contract isn't up until June. But in the fall, we might strike forever. Who knows? We'll see what happens. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I'm gonna just not teach for a whole week, and everything is gonna be awesome. The shows. Well, whatever.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
All right. Thanks, Angela.
Bye, Lily.
Bye.